What's up, everybody? Well, I got another gameplay video for you guys today, and today we're going to check out Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, or at least try to anyway, on this little mini PC I got in my bedroom. Because some people just want to get one of these to do, you know, a little tiny light gaming and whatnot, but I still figured it'd be fun to see how it does with something like this, even though, to be perfectly honest, this is kind of out of its realm of expertise. These little mini PCs and handhelds can't really play AAA titles like this very well, and if they can play them, it's going to barely be 30 FPS probably on the lowest possible settings with like FSR on performance, just like we tried on the Steam Deck. And heck, it might not even launch. Steam Deck, I couldn't even get it to work. One time it just got stuck on the loading screen until the whole thing just froze. And then the second time I tried to record it to try to use that reverse psychology BS, because a lot of the times I'll try to show something failing, and then all of a sudden, it'll work. And I'll go, ha, now I can actually make the video. Fuck you. So, anyway though, so it might not work at all. I don't know. But this thing is a little more powerful than the CPU or the Steam Deck, especially in the CPU department. GPU is a fair bit better, but it's mostly the CPU that absolutely just curb stomps the Steam Deck. This thing's CPU is a 8-core 16-thread versus a 4-core 8-thread on the Steam Deck. Now where the Steam Deck does win is it has higher memory bandwidth since it has quad-channel memory. Even though it doesn't have the most impressive speed-wise, I think that helps in the smoothness department. That's why even in games where it might not hit the highest highs, it'll usually beat the other handhelds in like 1% lows and all that stuff, which is usually what people perceive as stutter in games. That's why I don't really care about my maximum. I care more about my average and 1% lows. That's just me though. But anyway, enough blabbing. Let's see if this game even works. Well, alright. Here's the settings we're going to try. Basically the same as we tried on the Steam Deck. And it seems like it's like lagging even the mouse, so I don't think this is going to go well either. It might not even launch into the game, but we're going to do base resolution of 720p, and we also have it on performance, so it's going to be pretty terrible looking, especially on this big-ass screen. But that's what you got to do if you want to try to even get a hope to running something like this on something, or a game like this on something like this. Would be the correct way to say that. So we're not copying the Steam Deck settings exactly, but those are the settings we're going to try. So now, let's go try to hop into the game. Alright guys, here we are. We're in the game. We are inside though, so I'm going to try to figure my way out of here. But before I could even do that, and I just walked around, I noticed it's doing the exact same thing Call of Duty was doing. So I don't think it was the Wi-Fi at all. I think this thing just hates these kinds of games and just lags and stutters and rubber bands. And it's not the VRAM either, because we're only using 1.7 out of the 4 gigs I told it can use. So yeah, this thing's just not really good for this. So we're going to probably keep this a pretty short video, but I still want to go outside and see the FPS. Because hey, who knows, maybe it's just like the RAM on this thing is too slow for this, or who knows. There could be a plethora of things that are causing that. Alright, there we go, now we're outside. Obviously it looks like absolute garbage, so you really wouldn't want to try to play something like that, but if that's all you can afford, and you can deal with all that, that's why I still make these videos. Because not everybody can afford a frickin' $2,000-$3,000 computer, or even a $1,000 computer. But they still want a game. But yeah, it definitely doesn't look good, and definitely has some little rubber banding, and or not even rubber banding, that's just like huge stutters. Because if it was rubber banding, it would be like it was in Call of Duty, where it literally put me back where I was. This is just like big stutters, see? I'm glad I put the frame time up there. Frame times tell all. If you see that thing looking like it's trying to have a heart attack, you're going to have a very unsmooth game. Though, I will give it credit, it's at least playing it. The Steam Deck couldn't even play it. It would just freeze the whole system up, but it's not even a game for the Steam Deck, so I can't really be too mad at it. It still is cool that it can play most games, some other things. Like I played Prince of Persia on it just fine. And I jump. Floating rocks. If I don't think there's an easy way down. So we're just gonna not go that way. Because I already beat the game and everything, but I can't remember how the hell to do anything in this. Like I said, I hadn't played since my birthday. So I don't really remember how to do much. Hell, if things attack me, I'll probably die. Alright, that looks like a cave. I don't really want to go to a cave. A cave isn't going to be a good test of graphics. I remember one time I did that. I think it was either with Hitman or... Nah, it might have been something else. But it was like a Hitman style game or... wasn't... Well, I can't remember anymore. I played too many games. I thought I could just easily remember, but nope. Alright, so no, this is just like a dead end. Alright, well, I went to a dead end. So I guess let's go up the way I came. Out of my way, trees and ferns. Alright, well, I guess you just can't really go anywhere from this way. This probably must be another exit.
Most curious clothing, traveler.
Alright, so it still can't quite maintain even 30 FPS on something like this. And this is plugged directly into the wall, so it's not power starved or nothing. Wonder how the Ally will handle it. It's got a little more VRAM. Because this one I had to pick between 4 or 8, and I figured 8 was a little much if you only got 16 gigs, so. The other one I got 6, that's like leaves 10, so I figured that'd be plenty for most games. And the games that require more RAM than that probably aren't going to run well on the frickin' Ally anyway, let's be honest. Or something like this for that matter. They would be pretty close in performance. I think if this thing could have more VRAM or fix whatever the problem is in the background. I don't think it's VRAM, because why would it only be using 1.7? You know? I think it only needs to use 1.7 because we're at such low resolution in graphics settings, so it doesn't need much. But there's something else making it stutter. I wish I could figure out what that is. Maybe there's some setting I have to turn off in Windows. Oh, you're heading out, Mistin? I guess Misty hasn't gotten bored. Yeah, it's not exactly the most exciting gameplay, is it, Misty? But doing my best at 20 FPS, just figured out how the hell to get out of the dang place. And who knows, I might be heading into another dead end here. Oh, hello. Uh-oh. I think it's angry. Whee! But you can't get me up here, so haha. Well, alright though. I think that's probably plenty of gameplay, plenty enough to say that it does not run good. And this guy wants me dead. You're not a very nice rhinoceros thing. I'm gonna go on this tree. And then you won't be able to get me up here. And then I can end the video. Ha! Can't get me up here, can ya? But if I could figure it out, I could jump off this tree and stab you to death. But anyway, I think it's about time to wrap this video on up. So let's go do just that. Well, alright guys. That's a wrap for Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, and it did not do so well. But I was pretty much expecting that, even with 1080, or even with 720p and all that stuff. Speaking of which, I have to remember to turn my TV back to 4K, because it was just defaulting to 4K and making it run like garbage. And then when I put it to 720p, it made everything like super big and I couldn't even see stuff. So I just was like, okay, let's go try putting it down to 720p on the desktop, and then everything was good. So anyway. Did not run too good. It still does that weird stutters. It wasn't rubber banding quite like in Call of Duty, but it was still doing stutters. And I gave it 4 gigs of RAM, so if it needed more VRAM, it should have been able to use up to 4. I mean, unless there's some other setting in Windows that I forgot to mess with. But I found the little setting for VRAM in the BIOS. It's just buried in there. Still couldn't find that one for 0 RPM mode on the fans, though. So I don't know where that went. Maybe that's on some other model, but I had a couple people ask me about that on a video, but couldn't find that one. But at least found the VRAM one. Just doesn't seem to help. But in any case, though, that's all I got for you guys for this particular video. And now we're going to move on to the Ally. And until the next video, peace out, guys.